Hey guys, how you doing? Let us do it. We'll play one and then we'll do a car one in the very first game. I found a way how to do it, so it should be interesting. There we go. Let's do it. I have to win a pawn here. It's kind of my idea. Oh shoot, he moved right. I could have grabbed his. Okay. Let's bring my knight in. And I'm double attacking here. And he's gonna have to. He's in a bad problem here. Really bad sitch. It's basically almost game over here. Because he really can't get out of this. Boom, baby. I want to check this out. See if I did right here. So I did that right. No, so if you played King to F6, check, that was our idea. Takes check. Okay. We'll do one more and then we'll get busy. Then we'll do a Caruana game. Okay. Oh, shoot. I think I have to do that. So here. Okay. I'll face a 2000. And then we'll get busy. Okay. think he's lost here. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's any way to get out of this pin without losing a piece. Yeah, he's done. Good way to end and on to the Caruana game. He might try castling queenside. Oh, kingside, huh? I like this move here. Handles that sitch. Covers here too. Covers that. Covers that. Nice. Okay, I'll play one non-rated game. Then I have to get on. Just one sec. Then I have to get on to Caruana. It should be interesting to see what he plays. He's been throwing some weird moves. But I should have everything locked up here. I have this knight hanging and this rook hanging, so I might grab this knight rather than the rook, because this is more of a threat than this rook, so I probably would just grab the knight. You have to kind of look at what's more of a pain in your neck at the time. Oh, so I did that. Gotcha. First you check, then you grab that knight. Now the whole house is collapsing all around him. And the takes there. probably let his time run. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's not technically over, but such massive piece advantage, positional, no counterplay. I don't think there's really anything. Okay, casual. All right, I'll play you. Oh, wait a second. Could I have actually? Oh, darn! I should have done that. Huh, that's okay. Should have missed the Greek sacrifice. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Okay. You too. Okay, we're gonna go over a Fabi versus Grushchek. This is game one. I couldn't find it on the thing, so I had to pull this up. I hope you guys can see this. I hope it works out. But okay, Fabi's black and Grushchek is white. I don't know how to flip this board, and it won't allow me to. But so you guys know who is who. So knight f3, d4. d5. Sorry. Knight b3. C5, E4, E3, E4, what am I thinking? Knight C6, Bishop B2, and then Fabi went F through F6. Okay, perfect. D4, and see there. It's all about expansion. If you know Alexander, what he did was he put a bishop fianchettoed, and he actually is now exploiting the d4. He's trying to break down Fabi's kind of like center, not center, but try to open up so that he can get his bishop to. Oops, I really can't do any designs, but on b5. He's trying to go to bishop b5 later on and break down the pawn chain. Kind of try to get some space in the center. This is Alexander's chance to do that. And so Fabi takes, and if you notice, this does have a d4 does have a sitch with it though. The problem is it blocks his a1 to h8 diagonal for his bishop, but it does have has a couple perks to it. It does bind a lot of the center, and Alexander has the c5 square and the e5 square under his full control at this moment. Also later on, if need be, he could potentially play a4 and then place the knight on c5. a4 stops, of course, you guys know. a4 stops b5. So that's kind of why my teacher taught me you have to kind of do preparatory moves, in between moves, and that's kind of a move you'd have to do first here, then get your knight in. Okay, so he played bishop g4, bishop e2, queen to e7, and it was really weird that Alexander had a really good position. Hold on, I need to drink water. And if you guys have any questions about this, I'll do my best to answer them. So castles. Okay, then he went. See if he castled and then e6, rook e1, which I think, in my opinion, I'm not sure if best was. I might have played c4 here, trying to. I know it's a little bit. You're lashing out a little bit. See. Ooh, I can do that. I do like c4 here. I think rook to e1 was a little too hesitant. I know why he did it, because he wants to exploit the e6 pawn, but sometimes you have to break down the center, and c4, when I was watching, is actually a better move, because you don't have to worry about e1 right away, rook e1. This will cause a lot of problems for for black. He might try like something knight there. Then what you could do is take, pawn take, so, and then rook to e1 makes more practical sense. At the time, it probably Fabi would then castle queenside, get out of dodge, and then potentially say, I'm going to bring my knight in and see if he can't get his knight here, undermine the structure. Maybe better rather than that knight. No, I don't want to do that. Let me see. What could we? I guess you're going for the same type of setup, aren't you? This. But yeah. So he played rook to e1, which, in my opinion, took away a lot of his advantage. Because see, Fabi was going to castle queenside anyways. Why not kind of expand on the queenside? Knight bd2, bishop to d6, a3, knight to e7, knight g7, and then c4. That's a little too late, in my opinion. I think that was I don't know. I'm liking I like actually this a little bit more better, but but you have this problem here. Then you take, queen takes, and maybe at this point c4, pawn takes c4, pawn takes c4, and maybe something like knight. Very peculiar position, to say the least. See, that was a mistake. That was a double question mark move. Whatever you do, you don't want to. You do not want to close down the queen side. You don't want to do that, because this is the side you're wanting to attack. In Gruschev's mind, or Alexander, his idea was to get a majority going on the queen side to overwhelm Fabi, but he doesn't have enough play at this moment. So I'm thinking that, let me see what potentially could, I'm thinking about just opening it up. Well, and then bring the rook over, but I'm not, that might not be the best. Let's see, what could we actually play here? Maybe right away rook. Maybe rook a c1 is for preparing that if he takes, we then could take with our rook at this point. Now we have a potential battery. Very peculiar position. Oh, you're thinking, okay, you're thinking b5 right away? Huh. Well, I think that's because then he can actually take at that. Well, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. That actually benefits. So he'd probably have to take with the knight at that point. He can't take with the bishop. I don't know. I don't like having this hang. It's a good idea. I just don't like having this weak hanging d4 pawn. There's always an attack over here, but I think that's a little too, because then he could take. Well, then maybe takes and takes. Oh yeah. So this would be optimum right here. Optimum play. Okay, so we gotta go back. Okay, so yeah, a5. I guess you h5. I guess you have to kind of get your pawns a rolling. There. I think he waited a little. I think he pushed a little too hard. I like, in my opinion, go for broke. And if he plays here, you know, I mean, what do you got to lose? You know, you're going for an attack. Now you can get your kind of some of your pieces involved. Maybe. Huh? It liked the h. Wow! It liked the h3 really well. So then it takes. Uh, yeah. You can't really. Oh, sorry. You gotta go back to a4. You can't. I remember what my teacher told me. You can't win a battle with one piece. Fabi should have just been calm and played. Maybe that might be too optimistic. What would be a good move here? No, that's not a good move. Wow, that was a blunder. Okay, equal. Uh-oh. That was not well liked by the engine for sure. I'm not sure. What I'm kind of thinking is, oh no, that's a draw. I was thinking if I could do that, but that's a horrible move. That loses a piece. That's a bad move. What are we missing here? Well, maybe we need defense. No, oh, that was a big time blunder. What in the world happened there? Uh-oh. That kind of did a tweak on me. Hold on. Had to refresh it. Let me pull up the Alexander versus Caruana game. Oh, I know what the problem is. Oh, silly me. My bar, the little bar over there. Okay, we'll get back to. Come on. What are you doing to me? Hold on, guys. There we go. We'll get it fixed. Don't worry. Come on, work with me. Work with me. Come on, don't lag on me now. What's going on? Just give me a sec, guys. What's going on? What's going on? Come on. Advertisement. Stop moving over. I don't want you move. Now you're a little too far up. There we go. What are you doing? Come on, work with me. Why is it rebelling against me? What is going on? I have no idea why this thing's lagging. Why is it lagging on me? Okay, then I'm gonna have to just go down here. So you're not gonna be able to see Fabi's face. For some reason it doesn't want me to, doesn't want us to learn, guys. We're not gonna let that happen. Okay, there. Okay. So if you notice, Fabi's going for a push on the king side. It's kind of somewhat neutralized Alexander's threat on the queen side. Oh, brother. Not another ad. Ads galore. Gotta be joking me. It's causing a little sitch right now. And we have this every once in a while, don't we, guys? the internet kind of goes, not responding. Okay, check. There we go. So Alexander played a check, which, wow. He like the whole problem was you don't pull a piece when your king's about to get burned, like Maurice Ashley would say. You're gonna get destroyed there. And I like Yazzer. Now Fabi is eyeballing the G pawn, G2 pawn, and the H2. So he's got his eye on that. Yeah, it's toast now. Boom. That's like just it's calling. G3 was calling. Come on in. The party's happy. Let's throw some chips in a bowl and let's have a party. And that's kind of what the pawn was saying. It's like the other people's like, but you're gonna have to give your life up for the team. Hey, as long as the team wins, that's all that matters. So I tried to shut it down, and boom, the rook comes over. Probably bishop sack. Bang! Oh, loving it. When you have enough pieces like that going, it's like, yeah, you gotta love that. And then bang! Now he's in a tight bind. He can't even take here because wham would come down. Boom. And if he tries to come up to protect, come up to protect. Yeah, bishop check. King will come over. Boom. Rook would take. Queen would come in. I think that's winning. Hold on, let me see. Oh no, that's actually beneficial for... Come on, right there. And the knight. That's kind of odd that... Oh, that was our move. Okay. Boom. Very rebellious computer. Sorry guys, hold on. Let me get it so that we can at least. There we go. I might need to minimize it just a little bit, just so that I can minimize it again. Okay, there we go. I hope you guys can see that. I had to minimize it to 170, not 200. It wasn't. I know it's a little smaller. What are you doing? And then, see that was the interesting thing. It's like here he plays queen there. Queen takes, he moves. You come back, you grab the knight. Bishop check. And it's mate 2. I don't think there's any. So he takes there. And then wham, mate, and what was the, hold on, what was the mate? Bishop check. Oh, I gotcha. I think if he took there, what am I missing? Oh, okay. Check, comes up. No, that doesn't work. Check. Comes down. Oh, there it is. Wow. Bad move my part. Very bad. Try to. Oh, that's the mate. Duh. Right here. Gotcha. H. Yeah, King F1. Queen. Yeah. You just move over and it's mate. That was a really great game. Okay, we'll go over our London system now. Sorry about that. I'm still working with this. This every once in a while it lags. I wanted to show you guys that. I kind of found a way how to. I thought, how can I show you guys the games? And I was like, that's how we'll do it. And so I saw that I could do it on Chess24. Yeah. Oh, you have a game? All right. We'll do a game a night with Fabi. Come on, don't lag them in now. Good. I'll lead the game from my home. Oh, from your own position. Okay. Oops, turn off the engine. There we go. Yeah, they're just developing. Nice lockdown. Oh, nice. The queen's trapped now. Now this is a not a fun position. Okay. Yeah, this was kind of a forced. You kind of needed this move, otherwise you had to get protection to this pawn. Yeah, because this would be an interesting position after takes. And after retreat back there, the queen would have to retreat out. I want to see what the computer says to play. I'm kind of lost. Okay, so right so far. Okay, it's right so far. Oh, okay. The bishop, that's what I missed. Okay. It wasn't that, okay. It wasn't knight check, it was the bishop h, okay. Wow. Oh boy, boy, boy. Wow. That's a lot of attack for sure. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing how they're setting up for. I was thinking about this, but then I realized he has that. And so my trick idea was actually for him to actually come forward and then play here, and after takes, then pick up the piece, but he's just gonna sidestep that. He won't come forward. He'll just he'll actually come to the side here. That's why the engine had the rook go to g1. Hey, how you doing? Bishop c6. Oops, there, and then he moves. Okay. Yeah, because we have to remember to we got to keep the squeeze on. So potentially, maybe next would be something like that. This is a very hard position to break, but I think we could do it. d4. C takes d4. Takes. Okay. Okay, we have the king bound up on the side of the board. This is actually really beneficial for us. We got to keep an eye on everything. It's kind of hard to let. I don't know if I'd want to let my the king out of the corner. Potentially come up like this, and then maybe try a breakthrough. If you try something like this or something to maybe try to hack away at the pawn to come here, I just break right on through, and if he tries that, wow, okay, that'd be a mistake. Bad move. So we don't want that. We probably have to, well, we can't even take. That's just a pain. I guess you got to do that. I wanted to find a way how to not let the king out of the box, but I think you have to at that point. Wow, there's disintegrating everything. There goes the pawn. Up the board we go. Up the board we go. There we go. There's no, don't be hasty. Just move your, if the pawn's not going anywhere, just move. Attack the bishop. It's too bad this knight isn't. It's too bad this knight isn't here. I'd play rook to c5, and then the pin, and I could queen. But it's there. Yeah, it's. Yeah, and then okay. Just queen it. Yes, you know, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta, if he takes, he takes, you know. And if he starts, you can just come over and do that. And then just grab the knight. And if he comes over, you just start the pawn up the board. And it's on the right color. So you just sometimes, just don't get greedy. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to trade down. Don't get greedy. Yeah, there's no way now to stop. That pawn is going to come up the board, and it's going to end up becoming a queen. So, wow. Okay, we're going to go over on London now. Okay, Doki. Okay, this is the King's Indian, the London system versus the King's Indian. Come on, there we go. Let's go back. Okay, d4, knight f6, and the game is between the writer of the book and Shirov. He played Shirov in this, so that's why I really like this game. It was kind of pretty an interesting setup for sure. And so same London setup. Castle, castle, knight bd7, h3. There's this. There's also a common trap. You got to be careful. You can, if your opponent makes a mistake and plays rook to rook e8, you go c3. If he goes e5, because he's like, oh look, I'm gonna win a thing. You go takes, knight takes, exclam. Because he can't take here because whoom, he takes there, and then you're actually a whole pawn up in that line. This wins a whole pawn here. Yeah, that's a mega blunder. But it does happen in people's games, so you gotta always be prepared for that to arise in a game. Your opponent might not know how to handle the King's Indian properly, and they might go, oh, I'm just gonna move my rook over and threaten that. And you guys know all the patterns on it, so you guys can just say thank you for a pawn without any compensation. So we retreat back, because now that the queen moved over, this doesn't work anymore. Sad, sad, sad. So we just retreat our bishop back and say, it's basically nah, 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 nah. You can't get my dark square bishop, kind of like that. And then c4, queen c6, I mean queen e8, or e7, not e8. Knight c3, rook e8, and then e1, rook e1. This there's three advantages. There's a triple purpose for the move. One, if black trades pawns on d4, And the rook then faces, so if this happens, your rook now is, as Yazzer would say, eyeballing the queen. That's number one. Number two, black may try to play e4. Let's see, e4 and sack on h. Okay. Might try to play knight here and then sack on h4, h3. Gotcha. So rook e. Okay, nice. I kind of now get. I was looking at my notes. Okay, so the idea is rook d1 prepares for takes, and the queen. This also, if he tries some sort of sacrifice on h3 after all this happens, you have a spot for your king to go to. You also have a spot for the bishop on e2 to go to f1 to guard this type of sacrifice, because this will arise in a lot of King Indians. You'll have a lot of aggressive players, and they'll try to take a scope on h3. And let's see, number three is white keeps the position open with a potential f3 at the right moment. You can on knight on f3 keeps this position kind of positionally okay, because you could go there and then f3, and then now you have kind of like a lockdown for your king to escape to. And basically the rook secures this open file. So it's kind of what I see is what was written down in my notes was it covers this, gives spot for the bishop to go to, and also the knight has a purpose to go to d2 and potentially f4 or f3 and make some squares for the king to flee to. Kind of a little interesting to say the least. Okay. e4. Where are we at? Okay, knight d2 and f. Retreat. And there's bishop to, queen c2, which takes scope on the pawn. Ari says that this was actually played in one of his games, and this was actually from a game. He doesn't say what game it was from, but it was from a game move sequence he played. So b4, h5, c5, because he's trying to go for an attack. 15, d5, he's locking the, and then b5, boom. c7, takes, and queen to a4. White's queenside attack, this is what the author says, arrives with alarming speed, very quick, and he's ready to challenge with rook to b1, rook to b7. The entire b file is ready and willing to be taken advantage of. Knight h to knight h8 to h7, rook b1, g5, bishop, because remember, the reason the rook was ex-vac out was so that this bishop can go to f1 like we talked about, to protect if he tries some sort of subtle sacrifice here. This really helps out. h6, and then boom, rook to b7. The plan is to win the a pawn here, guys, and then walk this pawn down the board, and there's really no way that black is going to have really a hard time getting any counterplay going on the king side, because he's going to have to worry about the a pawn coming really quick up the board. That's an interesting move. That he's played that before, but he said he wanted to play queen to c2 this time. h5, rook a c1, and h2. Okay, this is what he says. Let's see here. With rook h8 h7, he said this move allowed for his knight to actually get to d5, knight d5, and c6. He says if c6 was to be played, which would give white more opportunity to prey on basically the center pawns, he could then retreat out here and retreat to b4, and then take scope, or maybe even just retreat back. Might have been a better idea. And then you're taking scope on that pawn. But he's saying that the c6 move only helps take scope on the weakness of the d6 pawn. That's why queen to d8 was played. Or yeah, d8. So b4, and then knight. There's bishop's f5, which is really good, but there's also another line that could be played. Black would love to play c6 to get a grip on, to get rid of the knight, basically. The problem is that white gives basically a hook to open the queen side with knight takes, and then b5, and now the queen side's gonna come open, and this is not what black wants. He has no development, and the position's getting opened up. Ouch, you're in a problem, my friend, big time. So rather than that, he's trying to develop, keep his options open. Smirnov is, or Shirov, sorry, Shirov. b5, knight g. So we retreat our bishop back. This is important. He played c takes d, which he tried to interrupt the pawn chain with this move here, because he didn't. He saw that the next move basically would be c5. So the only way to kind of hamper a little bit of white's attack is trying to fracture the pawns. But yes, it did, but look how much grip these pawns have over the position. So I don't think Shirov did a very good job there on that. It's kind of scary. But I guess you got to work with what you work with, huh? You got to work with what you got. So 20, let's see here. 1 second, hold on. What am I missing here? See, it says that black is sacking the a7 pawn to gain time for an attack on. He's not worried about giving up this pawn here, because in his mind he's thinking that he can get e7. But then he plays a really good move, b6. There's also a not so well move, which is rook a to b. I'm sorry, a8. This is a dubious move because you're protecting your pawn, but there's really no point to it. Knight, rook c3, d7, and rook c to rook e to c1. This move right here ties up black and halts all of black's kingside attack, because now he's got to worry about actually the pain of this position becoming open here. It's not fun. It's not fun. So b6, queen takes, we grabbed a pawn. d7, rook c6, because we have to kind of clog up c6 here, because he's trying to go after b5, and we can't allow that, so we just jam a rook there. There's also a dubious move. H bishop. There we go. Trying to kick the knight out. It's not. It doesn't work as well as they thought. There. Black's just able to consolidate everything, and then he wins a. And now there's a problem that's going to be arising for black. I mean for white. He has to worry about knight coming to g4. This is hanging. So what are you going to do? It's kind of not what you want. So rather than kicking the knight out and worried about all the sacrifice, he just says, stick a rook in there, and let's continue onward. So takes, bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, and rook to a, and queen comes over. Wham! We win the pawn. And now we're threatening to. This is exclam. We're threatening the rook, threatening to win a pawn there. So rook to f8 is actually the best move. There is a move that isn't really the best. It's you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna double up, but now they're threatening mate. So takes. You do gambit the piece back. Remember, you gambit the piece back. It's not like the piece isn't gonna be lost. And now we're protecting, and he brings rooks up. And we take. You're thinking, wait a second, protect the king, right? No, push. There, we move. It goes back. Takes, and then b7, and there's no way to stop. The rook will fall now. We had to gambit our piece back, but in return we got we get a rook in the end. So Shirov saw that and went, I don't think so, my friend. I'm going to play rook to f8, and you ain't got nothing yet. You haven't beat me yet. So, and white goes, yep, but I win another pawn. Everybody's like, yeah, but now you get checked. And the white's like, okay, I block. And then he goes, okay, I attack your pinned piece. And then he goes, okay, you may get my piece. I'm already a piece up. I'm going to win another pawn. The bishop goes to h6, which is a exclam move. And I was looking at it, and I was trying to figure out why it was an exclam move. I think it has something to do with, I'm not sure. Let me see, what do the notes say? Because sometimes it's hard to get an understanding what they're saying. I think the plan is he wants to play here, I believe, or something like that. It's a deep plan. I didn't understand it. So knight, queen e8, e5. I looked at it, and then knight to e4, and it's like, yeah. There's also h3, check, and then now all of black's attack is over. See you later, alligator. All your attacks done. I'm now up a whole piece and a bunch of pawns, so it's resignable, my friend. So I moved, and we brought the knight up. Queen checks, and of all things, bishop to g3. Because remember, if he takes here, which if he takes, of course you guys see, wham, boom, and I can actually go bang, boom, you know, double bang. You gotta love that. There, and then queen to f4, and with that, all the attacks, the attack is over, and it's basically done. You're totally over at that point. There's nothing more you can black could do. He's a whole he could play queen takes, then he'll just play bishop takes. And if he well, I guess there is nothing he could do, is there? Wow. Can't even take, because then he escapes. Wow, yeah, it's all over, but the crying for sure. Okay, this is the summary. We got to go back. A key move to remember. Where is it? Where has my little dog? Okay, key move to remember is if you get in a position like this, rook to e1. It permits the ability for bishop to f1 and also allows you to play later on f3 as well. So that if you ever need be, when your bishop's here, your pawn's on f3, your king can skedoodle all the way to the queen side. So just keep that in mind at the right moment when you see this setup here. Rook e1, bishop f1, later on f3, and king runs to the queen side. Okay, now we'll work on some of our puzzles. I'll leave a puzzle with you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, be right back. Okay, so queen h4. I think we have to, if I'm not mistaken, play queen to h4 by force, because if we try queen up here, he's got that because of his bishop protection. We can't play here. If we could try here, but then he's got that. And if we played here, he's got that. So the only move, we could play here, but then he's got that. So the only move that makes sense is queen to h4, but let's just take a look to make sure we're all in agreement on that. And then if queen takes queen, rook takes, the bishop's hanging, and the rook is hanging still. So we'd be up a whole piece in that line. So is this what you're saying? So here, 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 bishop takes, rook takes, and then what? Oh, you win a pawn first. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right on that. Because we take here, he'll push there. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun for sure. So, is this the line here? Come on. Is it rook takes, g4 check, oops, check, king move, and then rook takes a3, or is it rook takes a3 right away? I'm thinking it's rook takes a3, because the problem is if we take here, I'll show you. If we take here, and then let's say he moves, right? Sorry, we take here, he moves. If we play rook takes, then rook will come down. Then we have to move our king up to d7, and uh-oh, look what happened. Look what happens. So we actually have to take the bishop. We can't take the pawn, otherwise we walk into a fork. The line would be rook takes, g4 check, king move, rook takes, a3, rook b8, king e7, and then knight e5, e5, fork. Trying to figure out which move would be good here. See, if we moved here, he's got that. Then we can move up, and if he moves back here or moves back there, then I think you're right. I think that's the only move. Yeah. King f5, I think, leads to a mate, if I'm not, almost mate. Maybe. Okay. What happens here? Oh, a fork. So that's forced. Okay. Yes, exactly. Huh. I guess, okay. I think if we played this here, he's going to play rook to f1. Actually, you wouldn't defend with your queen. I thought about that. What you do is, if we did take here and he played there, we'd defend with our rook. Because if we tried defending with our queen, he can actually play queen to h3, protecting the rook and preparing a check here. If we take the queen, though, we take the queen, bishop takes, and then we castle queenside, we do get our rooks involved. I want to see if he castled. Hold on, just let me take a look. No, I think we could actually take the queen, if I'm not mistaken. Bishop takes and then castle queenside. What do you think? I really don't see any other options. Otherwise, it lets, like what you're saying, the queen into f6. We could just play maybe king to e7 after that. That's a good idea. We could play takes, bishop takes, king e7, and then get the rooks involved. I guess the only drawback I see if we're doing drawback chess is this bishop's hanging. This bishop's hanging because the queen is once guarding it. So I think we'd be okay enough. We can win the bishop. So queen takes d2. Oops. Queen takes d2. Queen f6. Rook f8. Queen takes h6. And then maybe we could just actually castle queenside here. At that point, we might be able just to castle queenside at that point. We can't go up to e6, e7, because if we, let's say we took, right? He comes here, we come there. If we go up, actually, I'm sorry. Here, there. If we go up, he can actually play. Oh, he can't play that, huh? Okay, oh yeah, you're right, huh? Oh, that is true. Yeah. So we're gonna have to play our rook to I think he'll play queen here. If we go rook to f8, queen to f6, and I'm not sure what do we do after that. I guess we could win a pawn, couldn't we? Yeah, let's do it. You have a crazy idea? But we'd still be down we still wouldn't have enough compensation for... See, the problem with our position is rooks are horrible in closed positions, and this is a pure closed position. So yeah, that would be an interesting idea, but the only problem would be our position's closed, and it would not. The queen can come in and pounce on us every chance she gets. I believe you're right about rook to f8. Oh. 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 What are we missing here? What are we missing? No, it's not that. It's just... Let's see, what do you do here? Oops, sorry, my bad. What are we missing? I'm not sure. I'll bring the rook in. Let's retry that one again. Mine neither. Me neither. We gotta work on that. We gotta make sure that it does. Yeah. We can see and see it. Let's take a look to see why it doesn't work. Hold on. It's a draw. There's no real way to make any progress. Boom. See you later. Okay. So it's a perpet. Okay. So the rook goes down from here to there to grab the pawn. Okay. The only problem is he could take, yeah. That's the only message. I'm thinking there's something to do with knight takes. And then if bishop, it's not queen, and if bishop takes, then we have queen to f6 with a fork. We actually win the rook. Come on, now work with me, work with me. Work with me, work with me. Work it all the way out, because you do win material after that line. After this line, you do win material if he does take the bishop. I'll show you. And then you do a discovery. Knight to f4, knight f4, check, with a fork on the rook and a check. Here, or here, here, and then knight f4. And this rook is ours for the taking. Yes, we got a pawn and a rook for just a bishop. What do you think? What you think? Okay, let's give it a go. Wham! I'm loving it, loving it. Wait a second, we need to go back. I wanted to show you that move. Hold on. If he takes here, and oh, you can do that. That's better. Huh. Why doesn't that's not as good? Still good, but not as good. Okay. So if he takes here, okay, you play there. Bishop takes there. Okay. Probably the rook. And the king would have to move, and then I don't know. I think I'd just pluck the rook off. I don't know if I would worry about all that. Just grab the rook. which I gotta ask you, what do you think, which piece to block with? There's really only two. There's the knight here, knight there, or bishop there. It's all about a defensive block. We have a queen. See, if we block there, he could play here. Then we play up. He might try grabbing that pawn. Then we move our king up. Then he grabs the rook. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Do you have a line that works out though? Because I'm trying to. My brain's like on overload right now. Well, if we go bishop f1, rook to c, right? We have knight to e2. Trying to see if knight here, then if he tries that, we can play h3. If he tries to grab that pawn, we then play knight to b7. Try one more and then I gotta log off. We could go over this one and then I'll log off. We'll analyze the lines to see why yeah, we'll go over this one and then we'll pick up tomorrow on that one on the other puzzles. So here and then there, okay. That's night. Huh. So bishop D and rook C8. Queen to B2. Then the rook would have to take and we win the queen. Okay. What's the problem with that though? Okay, so rook slides over. Okay, so the knight takes. The pawn takes. And the bishop would have to retreat back at that point to cover here. Okay. What would happen with that? Oh, so we are equal at this point. So we did that. We just intercept there. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Do you have any questions on this before I log off? And I agree with you on that. It made you think that it was a defensive when you needed to defend and attack. Like Stonewall Jackson says. Okay, perfect. Well, guys, remember, we have to always think of the next puzzle as a whole new puzzle, like what Fabi says, all new game. It's not, you know, don't bring the game in with you. Don't bring the puzzle in with you. Learn from it like we did. Keep moving forward. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. And like I always remember what Economy says. He said when we do puzzles, take the material. I always like that one. Then also, I think that Yasser has a good one too. Like we need to keep our eye on the position. We need to eyeball it. I thought that was cute. And remember, we just always need to keep pushing forward. That's the whole thing. We look back to learn, and what it is. So, and guys, if you want to watch tomorrow, they're having the Rapid is still going one more day until the Blitz. So it's the Rapid still. So I want to leave you guys with that. And as always, remember what Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus. And as I say, God bless. I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. And guys, you know what? Keep doing good. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow with you, and we'll go over some more studies. We'll do some games, puzzles, and we'll go over a Fabi game. And we will get down how Chess 24, the tournament thing works. Sometimes it's a little bit rebellious, but we will get there. So be blessed, guys. Thank you for logging on, and keep doing chess. Hurrah! Bye-bye, guys. Be blessed.